Hello.
Hello, hello. We are waiting to see if somebody else will participate. I hope that it will be at least somebody.
Perfect.
How is in Greece?
It's raining. I don't know. Something is off. It was like super sunny, and now it's like raining since the morning.
Yeah.
So it's gloomy and raining.
Here was even starting snowing, just to let you know. Last week it was like
Oh my God.
summer and it was like snowing and it was sunny and snowing. It is really strange.
We're starting now to have like the Easter break
Mm.
from next because next week is Easter. So, people are a bit starting to have some holidays.
Yeah, okay.
But we have like a ban of traffic, so you cannot travel to other cities
Okay.
due to COVID. So you cannot go anywhere, I think, more than 15 kilometers or something like that.
Okay. Okay. I was okay. I think that we can start because if somebody comes, I think it will come automatically inside. Well, we just actually passed through a situation in Balkan right now. Shall we speak in huge terms, like a situation with the film industry in the Balkan? How do you feel about that? Since you were a student, as I remember, in not New York, in London, in England. So, can you like give some kind of idea how is situation in Balkan when we are talking about film?
I cannot talk about the whole Balkan region. I can definitely say some things
Yeah.
about Greece and some things about my experience with filming in Turkey. Okay, there is no doubt that we're behind in terms of how welcomed are the new directors or new projects. People are a bit, and companies and association organizations who are funding, they're a bit, I could say, more afraid to invest in new ideas and projects. They want to go on the safe road. And safe road means, at least for Greece, comedies or mainstream movies that could be more commercial, or films that come from people who have been doing films for 20 or 30 years. So, for younger people, it's a bit more difficult. We were also discussing that on Wednesday. This is a bit changing. They reinforced now a new law that somehow is trying to support new creators, new actors, new film directors, but it's very new. We haven't seen yet the results. They're also funding filming. If you're, let's say, from Sweden, you get some tax reduction if you film in Greece. So they're giving.
Yeah.
But it's still, we haven't seen yet the results of that. What I'm seeing, and it's very optimistic to say something optimistic, is that a lot of young people, super talented, that they have either studied also in Greece or abroad, they're doing very, very interesting things, even if it's low budgeted or medium budgeted. I've been seeing things that you say, wow, interesting things, experimental things, and things that are going very well outside of the borders of the country, because I think that's also the crucial point for the films to travel. I'm a person that I don't believe you make a film to watch it, you and your family. Traveling and many people watching it, I think it's the goal for everybody, at least most people who are creating films or documentaries. I remain optimistic as always, but I think the next 5 years are going to be crucial in that direction, at least for my country.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Since we have, as a Balkan Film Festival, it took quite a long time for us to reach Balkan, Greece Film Center, because people explained me that before they had a quite lot of employees, but now they're just 2 or 3 persons which are running all movies, movie administration, including festival promotion, and it means they cannot answer. I said, okay, well, is it somebody who at least can say something about? And it really was hard to get a Greek movie at the festival. you know, I can imagine that they are concentrating on a big festivals like Cannes, like, you know, things like that. But to get a movie for the smaller festival, it was like mission impossible. It was my opinion just 5-6 years ago.
I think this is not just for Greece, but especially in Greece, there is this narrow-headed orientation and perspective. Let's go for the big festivals, the Venice, the Cannes. I believe that, of course, these are great, iconic festivals, but new ones should be also supported. I'm a person who, like, we've been applying to festivals that we find that they're inspiring, that they have something new to offer, that they're bringing and giving voice to people who have something different to say. And I think it's also about the creators. Where are you applying to? Which festivals are you sending your film?
Actually,
We were eclectic and selective in that, because of course you don't have the budget to send 1,000 applications out there, but also you need to see. I wanted this documentary to be watched, of course, from people in Toronto or in Australia, but I was very curious to see how people from the Balkan countries will see that. So when I read about your festival, I said, wow, how interesting, how great that the Balkans are having now a voice, that it's not just, an isolated part of Europe, that nobody really cares what these people are doing there. And I think it's not just governmental, it's also the creator side, that we need to understand that it's not just about the big, okay, yes, the BAFTA, yes, the Oscars, yes, Cannes, Venice, all these are great, or Berlinale or whatever. But I've been seeing that the most interesting stuff are not there, or they're not just there. That's, as a creator, that's what I've been seeing, because I've been following a lot of festivals pre-COVID. And I think that's why many people from my age are starting now to support new type of festivals, that they have something different to offer.
Great. Because we start like that. We also understand that, there is a Stockholm Film Festival, there is Göteborg Film Festival, and I was like living here in 10 years before I started. And I was like, but where is movies from the Balkan, Okay, around the world it is okay. But since we are still in Europe, you can see French movies, you can see, Finnish movies and things like that, but nowhere Balkan, just once in every third year, like on official festival. I said, okay, we have great production. I know that. And I said, okay, let's start. Let's make Balkan from inside, outside more visible. That is our idea, and that's how we actually start. Because big movies, as a festival, now I'm talking a little bit for free, but I think so, too freely. They're taking one and the same circle. When one movie is winning one of them, then this one is existing in all of these festivals. Actually, question is that one really the one who is so super interesting, or just because people are probably tired or boring, or I don't know, don't believe in themselves to see even another movies and give them awards. That's how I find out that, for example, movie from Balkan, suddenly one got one prize and then it is everywhere. But since you don't reach that one, you are nowhere.
I was inspired from a Serbian director. Like when I started, I was very young. Like I think the first one who put Balkans in the scenery was Kusturica. We owe him a lot. I think he's the most renowned one. I had the privilege to meet him at Kustendorf, where he created this lovely village, cinema village, with his festival. I think with him and with Bregovic and all this collaboration there, we had the chance to say, okay, the Balkans are not just for fun or to travel or to go for low budget holidays. We can also have a new offering in arts. And when I saw his village in Mokra Gora, I said, wow, this guy has quite a vision.
Yeah.
He could have been in LA, in his pool, the fact that he created that thing there. I think he was the first one that he saw the potential that the Balkans are having, and he made this whole region a more international. The year I went, it was the year that with Penelope Cruz and he invited, and Johnny Depp, and he invited them at the festival. He tried to make the Balkans more international. And I think this thing that he did, we can continue this legacy and say, yes, we can do great stuff.
Actually, yes. I think so. We are talking about like theories and things like that, but if we are talking in former Yugoslavia, just war, you know, everybody's awaiting some war history, some, you know, sad and things. Well, okay, it's part of us, but it is just the history of last 20 years. We have culture even before, you know, and we are still running the same. So that's from my position as what the people from Sweden, like, you know, they are just how can you say, eating media, and somehow they are expecting that movies that are just about the war. No, it is not about the war, because it was some period, it's over, well, it's new time, something else happened and things like that. So so it was our struggle as a festival. And my also interesting part, which I actually support a lot, it's a woman on a film. We even reached that in our last conversation. But if you're talking like a more wider, not just your experience, do you have women directors around you, or not only directors, screenwriters, producers, editors? I understand that you are collaborating easy with them.
Our documentary is a woman's documentary, because in all key positions we were having women. So the editor, the senior editor is a woman, is Chris Van Vakas, is an amazing editor, and she was also the post-production supervisor. The composer, Eftychia Fragou, was also a woman. Myself, then if you think about it, of course we had some guys. Okay, we haven't banned them, but I mean, at the key positions, we had women, and I'm not seeing it as a gender. Like, if I think somebody's talented, I don't care. But of course, I love seeing women in key positions, because it's not something that we're used to it. But I think this is changing, and it will be changing more and more. And I've been seeing this change. Of course, do we have many camera women? No, we don't. At least not even in London, we didn't have. Not even when I was living in New York, we didn't have. There are some technical positions that they're supposed to be guy positions because it's heavy. But I've been seeing women doing that. And I think that the woman, it's not about if you're a guy or a woman, but I think the way we see from the camera, it's a different way. The way I'm seeing, for instance, the frame, and I've been discussing that, is completely different. I'm going to see more easily a bird or something that is happening on the background than my colleague who's a guy and say, what are you talking about? So I really believe in this, in the high aesthetics of women. I'm trusting them. I'm working with them a lot. Like, my favorite people, also the crew, were women, without banning the men. So I think also women should be supporting women. It's not just, sometimes we're asking from the guys to support us. First, we need to start from women supporting women. And if we do that, then also the companies, the producers, the other guys will do that. But if we sabotage the one, the other, it's not gonna, you cannot evolve in that way. I never had an issue with working with women. On the contrary, I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah,
the ride with them.
I was thinking a lot. I actually have one, like, almost thesis that the woman make another aesthetic, but when you come in a science world with this, just don't reach aesthetic or creativity. It is the same, because then we are, who is more creative? It's not a good issue to come within. But anyhow, I may personally, and I hope that I will with time find the words to express or explain what I'm thinking exactly. But I think that we are seeing things differently, and in that way we are making another approach to that and make some kind of different stuff, another reading or another narration. even if we are talking about the same things. And it was very interesting for me to hear that you are aware of that this movie is your movie and it's seen through the eyes of one woman and not through one man.
Of course, I don't want to sound like, okay, that women, we have a better aesthetics, because it doesn't also doesn't sound correct, because you can be whatever you want and it doesn't really matter. But I really believe that we should get rid of this stereotype that cinema is something that women can only be actress. Like when I was studying, the idea was that, okay, women are very good to be stylists, to be the makeup artists, to be actresses, and okay, a bit set designers, and pretty much end of story. Or the assistant in everything. Yeah. That was the perception. Assistant director, assistant producer, assistant, like that was at least that was the, you know, you were going to a crew and I was an intern and I was very young and I was like, okay, they're just guys here. So when a woman was walking on the set, everybody was looking why a woman is here. It was a bit odd to see women on the set if there were not actresses. This is changing, and I think it will be changing more and more, because women, there is another stereotype, because movies have a lot of technical things, discs, things, MP4s, what it is, all these technical nightmares that I'm calling them. And people believe, okay, women are not for the technical stuff. This is such a big, I remember that, because I guess all of us have been in tech dramas, uploads that they don't work. We went also, of course, through tech dramas. Chris, like we were calling, and she was the one who was finding the solution because she was more patient. So I'm not saying this thing that just the guys can do the technical stuff. I think also this is changing a lot. But we only do baby steps on that. We're not there yet, at least in Greece.
Yeah. But you see your colleagues as director around you, not just part of your crew. Directors or screenwriters, they're working around you, not only that you're taking a crew. Yeah, great. Okay.
I'm sorry, Elena, something I wanted to say. I don't know if you've seen with the BAFTA of 2020 that Chloe Zhao, I think, like that she got the award for Best Director. And it was the first time that a woman director won the award. This is a change. Like if it's happened, and I'm mentioning BAFTA because BAFTA is like the Oscars of Europe. So if this happened, if like we have finally a woman director being awarded, the road is opening.
Yeah, good. Good. But there is also, if we go even deeper, festival selectors, jury members, do they have stereotypes there? Since if you have the same people sitting last 30 years selecting the movies, you have always the same pattern. And suddenly on these main festivals and main positions that are giving possibility to somebody to improve or to be awarded and things like that will never come out. So I always put a little bit spotlight on the people who are sitting in a selection board and one who is sitting as a jury. Very, very, very important position to promote the movie, to promote something which is another or something new or something politically correct in at least, So it is also one part of this. Things are moving, but it must start from very inside that we have it on a surface actually. And especially, and having a woman around, we cannot expect one woman in a branch and then get one prize. No, one woman in branch is just one woman in branch. It needs army of the women in the branch that can move things forward. It is somehow just to support them in any role. That is my opinion. Okay, this movie you made, is it your first one, like long?
I've been in many productions. This was the first one that's completely independent and I have nobody else. So I've been in many productions, but as an independent and personal thing, it's the very first.
Okay,
Yeah.
and very important. Okay, how do you choose the subjects? Themes, I mean, thema.
It's something that I remember also we discussed that a bit the previous week. I was having this burning desire to do something about this city. When I first went to the city, like I was 8 years old or 7, I remember, there are some places or people that they have an impact on you, even if you're very young. And I knew that this city is going to play a role in my life. I knew that, and I didn't know what I'm going to do. I was going to elementary school. And then I kept going back and something, it was like a magnet in the city. And I was going again and again, back and back. Then I did my thesis in this pogrom when I was at the university. And then I started meeting people who were just like that went through this pogrom. And I started meeting people. I did some interviews for them for some newspaper and magazines. And then I started creating an agenda of people that they have gone through that. Then I went to the association of these people because they have it's called Federation of Ecumenical Constantinopolitans. That's how it's called. It's in Athens. So I went to meet them and I said, look, guys, I don't know what exactly, you're doing, but I think if you need to do one thing, you need to talk with the Jewish community, that they're doing a great job. And that the first thing that they try to do is to have all the testimonials. You need, even if you have zero money, just get a phone, just get a smartphone and keep these testimonials, because the grandson of these people, then they can Google the name and have the testimonial. You need to, even if you have no money, you need somehow not to lose the testimonials and the Jewish community. And I took the idea from them. I was going through, these amazing Jewish documentaries and how great they've done, because this is a science, the names, and you can Google your name and find your ancestor. And I say, okay, that's a great idea. We need to do that. We need to learn from them because they're doing a great job in that. And that's how it started. Of course, the documentary, we have 12 and still there are a lot of people. It was super tough to travel everywhere to find them. And then I said, okay, we will start with these 12 people. And if this goes well, then, we can be 5, 10, 20 cinematographers to do something all together. So that's how the idea started, not to lose the testimonials.
Okay, great.
That was the first thing. Let's have these people down. Let's get that, because 3 of them have already died out of the 12. We started in 2017, November. The first shooting day was 2017, November. And I remember the day because the first guy that we filmed, he passed away, unfortunately. So 3 people have already died. So that shows how fast you need to be when you want to do those kind of things.
Yeah.
And that's how it all started. And then, the one person was bringing us to the other, and the one idea, we didn't have the idea to bring the one person back to Poli. This came while we were filming. The guy said to me, I haven't been in Istanbul for 46 years. I'm like, it's a 1-hour flight.
Yeah.
Why you haven't been there? It's from Thessaloniki, it's 1 hour and 20 minutes. Why you haven't gone there? With the bus, it's 8 hours. Even if you don't have a budget, you can still go. It's an easy trip.
Yeah.
And he said, I cannot handle it. And I said, what about if you go with us? And he said, I don't know, I'm afraid to go to the borders because I left in 1960 something. And I don't know if, let's say, I have a debt. When you leave a place, you never know what you're going to, and I'm afraid because I haven't been to the army.
Yeah.
So I said, don't worry, we will go together. Yeah, and I said, don't worry, we will go together. this moment at the airport, when the people were checking the passport, because the passport was saying it was a Greek passport, but it says city of birth, Istanbul. So the authorities know that these are
Exactly.
Greeks of Turkey. So, you know, it took a couple of minutes. I was behind him. He said, go first. I'm like, no, I'm not going to go first because I'm going to go in. I'm not going to have any issue. You go first and I'm going to be behind you if something happens. So we live back together. And I remember him. We should have filmed that, but we wouldn't have a license to film at the airport. Like he was sweating. And he was so worried how and then we arrived at the city center, and it was like astonishing to see a person. Let's say that if they take you from a place and you go back after 46 years, it's a shock. So the one thing led us to the other idea, and that's how it evolved.
But in the future, you think that your idea will find you. You will not find self idea for you.
No. Okay, Yelena, of course. This was something that I wanted to do for my great grandfather. I said, okay, I'm going to do something, you know, for the memory of those people. Yeah. Of course, we cannot be doing that forever. But we thought if we have this first step, if we have this first movie, we can more easily take it one step further. That's how, of course, this is not something that we're planning on doing it like that, but I think it was a smart decision in terms we would have lost lots of time. The quality wouldn't have been the same because then we would go through, let's make it simpler, let's make it cheaper, we said, no, it's going to be 4K, it's going to be the best cameras. We said, if we do it, we're going to do it the right way. And now I think we will see. We don't know yet, but it feels like it's a bit easier in attracting some attention or even booking some appointments or scheduling some meetings to discuss the next step.
Yeah, because the road is somehow open, because the first...
You have something to show. You have something to say, hey guys, this is what we do. This is the team.
Yeah. You already passed through the same process. But do you think about fiction? Are you planning to stay in a documentary, or you will try a little bit in fiction?
I love fiction. What attracts me in documentaries is the true stories. And because the Balkan is a great source of amazing stories. Yes. When I was doing the Balkan Express, I remember I was in a village, I think it's called Sremski Karlovski, if I'm saying the name correctly. Okay, my accent is not good. I remember we went there to do some interviews for the war. And I was seeing all the Serbian people, and I'm like, okay, here every single place is for one movie. Like every person is for a documentary. Like you have this amazing pool of experiences, a region full of wars, civil wars, tensions, uprootings. And I said, I need to be doing some documentaries here in this region. That's how it started. Of course, I'm open to fiction. If there is a very good script and something very interesting. But for the time being, I think like the Unlost Homeland, we have some more stories still to share and tell.
As you said, it's burning stuff. These people are disappearing. It is make it easy, but anyhow hard, because these histories are just disappearing with the time. This is something, and it can be done right now. 1 year later, the story is over almost. Not exactly, but anyhow, you really catch the very interesting. Also interesting that people are disappearing. You know, it's like in 4 months it was over.
This is the word. Like my granny, that is not alive. That she was the old type of granny. This is disappearing. You don't see grandmothers like that.
Yeah.
My granny was wearing this dress with this apron, always with the hair up. This type of, like, this is also a documentary I would love to do, like the grandmothers of the Balkans. This is something that we're not going to have it in 20 years.
Yeah.
And the Balkans still have that flair that you don't see it in Europe. It's more sterilized. Everything is more clean cut. For instance, I was in Zurich for a filming. It was a corporate thing. And I said, yeah, very, very nice. And then I said, but I couldn't live here because everything is perfect.
Yeah.
And I grew up in a non-perfect place that I love it with its imperfections. The Balkans have this flair of these amazing imperfections that make Balkans what it is. How it's going to be in 20 years in the Balkans, I really don't know. It really depends, I think, on the decision makers. Who are going to be the decision makers? It could be, I hope, much better. It could be a catastrophe.
We are opening war very.
No. I'm not talking war-wise. I'm talking if we're going to go through development or through a new
brain,
or if we're gonna,
we can say so. Yeah, I understand. I think that we can easily understand each other. Sure, I think that somehow something will be saved. I'm not afraid that things can happen so fast because some our how can I say, inside evaluation or things like that are protected by somebody which is maybe bigger than we yourself or media or things like that. This globalization which is running around and trying to uniform everything which is not possible to be uniform somehow. So I think that we have anyhow this kind of protection. We shall see. But yeah, it's a huge question. I mean, to everybody. But Balkan used to be the one who is the first step to.
Elena, are you also from the Balkans?
Yes, I was born in Belgrade, in Serbia.
Ah, nice. Okay, I need to share now a very interesting story when we went to Belgrade for filming. This is a very good one. There was this cameraman called Michalis. I will never forget that. We came to Belgrade by car. So all the women were super pretty. And Michalis, this is an amazing one. He was filming, and he was filming, you know, the monuments, and then he was filming a woman. So the camera was like tilting all the time. At night, you know, we were watching what we filmed. The director, Favoris, Theodore, he was like, Michaeli, why everything is so shaky? Why we don't have a single good shot of the day? So Michalis was like a bit sweating. Yeah, you're right. I don't know, like they said, all women are super beautiful. I cannot concentrate. Probably it was a model place. And then I said to him, look, Mihaly, the Serbian women are supposed to be the most beautiful one. If you continue like that, we're not going to have. So if we have kept that, I have this link. We did a small video. All the filming was like boom, boom, like that. Nothing stable. And then whenever we were going, because we went many times to Serbia, and we did many episodes, I mean, in Serbia. We did Vojvodina, Novi Sad, Mokra Gora, the Kusendorf, Vranja. We did.
Okay.
We said to Michalis, if you want to be part of this crew, you cannot be filming only women in this region. So yeah.
Okay.
You come from a very beautiful group. Okay, we have a thing with Serbia, you know that. It's a big law with Greece, but we did some of the most beautiful episodes for Balkan Express there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it was very, very great to hear, actually.
The inside stories of the filmmakers.
Yeah, it is very, very inside, and it's very funny. Okay, we speak a little bit about another festivals, and you told me that your movie is going around now. You mentioned a few of the festivals. Did you try to apply to some like huge festival? Now we are talking Cannes,
Cannes, they don't do so much documentaries apart from Fahrenheit. If you remember, it's more fiction. So we haven't even applied because the last one I think was Fahrenheit. It's mostly about fiction. So we didn't even bother going. But Berlinale, that you can apply in September, we're going to do because there are also underground stuff in Berlinale. It's something, I've been to Berlinale. There are many interesting things. I could see us there. Of course, in June, I think the applications are on for Venice, but Venice is doing more glamorous subjects. It's also about if the topic fits to the, of course, to these two, for instance, or we did the rain dance in New York, like the experimental good ones we did. We're not going to apply for Cannes, for instance, because we know that there is no chance. They don't do documentaries, and they only do documentaries of somebody who's super famous.
Yeah.
So we are not going to go there, but to some important ones and very famous one that they have also an underground scene, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. And we will take also, I can say it like this, we will use occasion if you like to suggest your movie actually to some festivals, since we are creating.
Elena, and please email me if you have some ideas for festivals that we think that they are interesting, because there are now thousands of them and we might have lost some of them, or some of them are not on the spotlight always. Please share us some ideas, or if you have some film festivals that you think we fit in.
We are doing, because I have, I started with this and then find around people who are doing or thinking the same. So I have collaboration. And I think that this movie is really very worth, both in a creative way, but even in subject. Both are like these two, the main points are really good done. Okay. What do you think? Well, you mentioned something that existing in our festival in a Nordic country is somehow important. Do you think that our movie is missing around the world? I mean, when in these places where you were being, like in a festivals and things like that, did you find some clear vision of Balkan movies, Balkan situation, Balkan? No. Okay. Me neither. I mean,
I might be unfair, but I think they see it as one movie that is interesting. I don't think they really understand the Balkan idea. Or when I was living in New York, I will say something embarrassing. People didn't even know where the Balkans is.
Same here.
I think you've experienced that. Okay, forget about the word Balkan. Even Greece, there were people that they were asking me, we have TV. Like the questions that I've received over, I'm like, what do you mean we have a TV? No, we have this feeling that you wear the ancient gowns and you're ancient Greece. Americans, they have all these crazy ideas about this is a documentary, what people believe about the Balkans. I don't think they have any Balkan perception. At least I haven't realized that.
And in Europe, since, I can imagine that people probably in Taiwan don't know, because we don't know too much about them, and things like that, so distance. But anyhow, Europe, they have enough information about us, creative information, not information through the media and things like that. I think things which are going. Carlo Ivari, I don't know, there is some few festivals which are interesting from our perspectives.
This is a very good question and a bit sad, because sad in the terms that there are a lot of stereotypes about the Balkans, and you also know them. Greece is a bit more privileged because it went through the European Union, so a bit they have it, but still, because we went through the crisis, I'm not going to go down naming countries because it's going to be sad, but there are specific Balkan countries that they're supposed to be graded lower. This is super sad. Like, I cannot even understand why somebody's from somewhere means something. I cannot conceive this feeling. I cannot understand why it's more important to be Italian than be from a Balkan. I don't understand that. I have difficulty in following this stereotype. But this is very big. And when I was living in London, this is big. Even if it's an open society and they don't say because they're politically correct, it's there. And we need to be able to speak honestly about that. They have this feeling that this is a second category type of countries. That some from these countries we have our people, the people that paint our houses, that they're clean our houses, that they're doing these kind of jobs. In England, this was very clear. If for our industry, okay, thank God this Kusturica exists and people believe that, okay, we can do something. But the stereotypes are very strong, sadly strong. At least that's what USA was better because the Americans, okay, New York at least that I experienced, this is a really open city.
It's like light. There is no.
It's not hypocritical open. England is a more hypocritical society. People are political correct. They are not going to, but they, for instance, they have this. To me, I was once at a meeting about the lost homeland, and the guy, you know, the British guy said to me, your name is super difficult. Why you haven't changed it? I'm like, what do you mean change my name? Yeah, but how do you say this name? Of course, it's a difficult name. I know that, but I love it. And I, you know, it's my name. And this guy said, why don't you do it A or something to make it easier? I'm like, I made the effort to learn your language and to speak English. You can make the effort to say my name. It's the minimum thing. Okay, you might mispronounce it, but this is a small example, but that shows that for them, you know, the names are Mike, Kate, Helen, and game over. But this goes to other subjects. There is this mentality, but because we are changing, for instance, because I don't care, but I really don't care. And I'm not getting intimidated by that. It doesn't matter to me, but to another woman, it could matter.
Yeah.
I don't know if it makes sense what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a huge issue also in one's life. If somebody, you must rethink, probably change it, probably go for something. Yeah, I understand. And can you imagine that on the creativity then? How can it imply? I mean, how did they get your movie? I mean, for me, it's totally understandable and somehow appreciated that you did this kind of movie since we share more or less same history. But people, you know, who are not thinking as we are, have no same experience, how they this movie reach, I mean.
I know many friends of mine who are in the industry and, you know, they get intimidated or they get sad or they get disappointed or they say, I should swap careers. It doesn't work for me. To me, my character helped me. I'm unstoppable if I want something.
Okay.
Like, you know, I have this burning thing. I don't care. Like, but I think my mom called it, I don't understand the danger.
Yeah.
I don't understand. So it doesn't matter to me if I'm talking to the biggest production company, to the CEO of this company. I'm going to talk what I think, really honestly. But this is me. It's not, I'm a person that I believe in my country a lot. I believe in my region a lot. I'm proud of this region. So I really don't get intimidated. I also enjoy it somehow. I'm like, okay, interesting. This guy really is a racist, or this guy has really issues. And I find it challenging. And I'm saying, no, I'm not, I'm going to speak up. I have this thing. But it's not for everybody. It's a tough industry. Especially our industry, when I was in London, everybody was either English or Canadian or American. Always in the groups, I think I was the only one but I didn't care. This is what we need to work as women and as people from a region who needs to overwork. But Eftychia, if she was from Italy, and Eftychia that is from the same person with the same work is perceived differently.
Yeah.
Let's say you make a movie and you're from France, the same movie, the same cast, everything the same. From Greece, the same movie from Albania.
Mm.
There will be different perceptions for an Albanian movie, for a Greek movie, or for a French movie.
Yeah, well,
That's what I'm seeing, at least.
yeah, it is right. But it is also authorship, you know, because French cinema is something, Greece cinema is something, and Albanian cinema is something, you know.
But Helena, I don't have that. If I watch, like, for instance, The Parasite that we all watched last year, and was like this amazing line the guy said,
Mm.
it's just 2 lines of subtitles, start watching foreign films. I didn't care from where it is from. If it's a good movie, I don't mind when it's from Korea, Taiwan,
Yeah.
Serbia. If it's something good, I'm gonna say this is a good thing. I really don't care about the language. I really don't care.
Mm.
Like, I think the Balkans are more open because we coexisted.
Yeah, historically.
I find myself more open than people from Central Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds, I don't know if it makes sense, but I think we should be, especially the artists, we have this responsibility. We need to be the most open part of the society.
It is.
We have this responsibility to give to the next generation the possibility to dream. It doesn't matter where you were born. It doesn't matter what your religion. It doesn't matter if you come from a privileged country or from a developing country. You can be whatever you want.
Just show me, who are you, actually?
And we need to, the artists, if we don't do that, who's going to do it?
No one. Because this issue that you are taking in your movie, it's very tough. I mean, people are both stressed, having thousands of tons of stone historically to help with themselves, and you are just taking and just watch it, you know. So yeah, creativity is artists are duty to take this Sisyphus stone rolling up, because no one will do that, you know. It was standing and nobody's doing, as you said, the government, the world, Europe, you know, things like that. Everybody's just watching, and it is not correct, but nobody's doing something. So
I cannot change the world, or we can, but what I can do is what I'm trying at least to do is that if I see something unfair, I cannot but speak up. I cannot be silent. And documentaries can do that. They can be the voice of all these people who were muted. And that's how I see the Unlost Homeland, the voice of all these who were brutally muted.
And this movie has that, actually. I told you in the beginning when we start our conversation that I needed time to come to myself to start a conversation with you, because it's like you know, what? It was not easy stuff, because it's both emotionally, education level, and all these levels. Okay, we already speak about Sweden, Nordic countries, and you told us about that. You know what? I didn't present you in this conversation. Can you tell us?
Okay.
Can you tell us a little more about you?
About me, yeah.
Yes.
So I'm Eftychia Fragou. My name's Eftychia means happiness, felicity in Greek. I come from, I was born in Thessaloniki, in the north part of Greece. I lived pretty much everywhere. My dad did like 30 move out, so I've lived in many countries. And I went to tons of schools and all this great stuff. I graduated from the Media University here in Athens, and then I got a scholarship for the American Academy in New York. And then I came back to Greece. I did all kind of documentaries, Balkan Express, and another series of successful Greek people, young entrepreneurs. Then I did a return to the village. I went to all the villages of Greece that they have a flair and a spice. I moved to London, where I also was a great ride of 5 years, where the idea of the Unlost Homeland after 15 years in the industry came, and we started from there. What else about me? Now I'm back in Athens. Since the pandemic started, I left London, thank God, and I'm here. I don't know where I'm going to be in 1 year, or I have no idea whatsoever. But I think I'm a girl of the South. I think I'm a girl of the Mediterranean. I would love to do stuff and film in these places around. It's a bit sad that this whole festival thing, we're shut down. We cannot meet. I cannot see you in person. We cannot wine, dine, because the great thing with the festivals is the people you meet.
Yeah.
And you create a new artistic family, and people who share same visions very easily get attached. You know, there's a code. You meet somebody that you know in 5 minutes you're on the same page.
Yeah.
That I miss a lot from this phase that the Unlost Homeland is. The last thing, what people say about me, I'm loving the teamwork. I'm a team, like I believe in teams. I was happy enough in Unlost Homeland to work with my favorite people from those 15 years. So I picked the favorite people I had from all the works I did, and we made a team that I think is very unique. We lived so closely these 3 years. I think it's my second family now. You know, we cried together. We worked so hard, so many hours. I told you also, I think I've been seeing them more than my husband. That's for sure. That's for sure that I see them more. And I hope for the future that I could only, you know, do stuff that they always have a positive vibe in the end. I want to be seeing the positive side of the things. As a cinematographer, this is my goal. That's why the guy is pressing the bell. And I didn't want cheesy stuff that the door is opening, a Turkish woman is talking to him, and to make it cheesy. I wanted to leave with a button that the young boy is pressing the button and there is no end. Nothing is finishing, and let's see what happens next. The end of the documentary is how I really, you know, see things evolving. Yeah.
And we are thinking as a festival to start working one Balkan video on demand. I mean, one digital platform which will actually show all the Balkan stuff, at least on the north, since I'm here. They think that it will be good for us. I mean, for
that's a great idea.
Because now with this festival, because it is first time that we make this kind of stuff. We used to have 5 days, a few guests that we can manage with our economy, and screen about 12 movies. People are coming to cinema and go. What I find out that the people afterwards, Jelena, we didn't know that, we missed that, and things like that, because once it happened and it's over. Now I find out that people, you know, Swedish people which are no connection with nobody, reach the information and just asking, can we get to see these Balkan movies? So I really, really think that both Balkan have something to give to Nordic countries, and second one to have more information about us, actually, what's going on, because what media.
Hey, that's a great idea.
Huh?
To have a platform.
It takes a little bit time and a little bit economy to put it up, but I think that we could actually win more with that. We will keep on going with festival, but I would like to have like archive, let them be somewhere easy reach. I mean,
if I can be of any help, and consider my help, you know, if I can, you know, support you in any way, more than happy, and you know that.
Okay, great.
In any kind of creative concepts.
Okay, fine. talking now with these developers and things like that, and they have a lot of ideas, but I shall see. I think that I will follow some good example and then find my find my solution as usual. But I think it will be something which will at least we can get some part of the sky in Stockholm at least, or in Nordic country, that we can live a little bit more reachable with ideas and things like that, which goes above this media flow and things like that.
So nice to see that you're so passionate, and that's really inspiring.
Yeah, but things just happen. I mean, that people who are creative, real authors must have this passion. Otherwise, we have just commercials, and nobody will work with commercials. So, to avoid commercial, I'm really one. I can find even in you somebody who is really burning for the own stuff that must come out. It's like arcade fever that it is telling. So I think that somewhere there, we are in position to hear. Some stories are just coming in front of us, and you cannot just avoid them. I see them. Okay, well, let's make it. That's how I think.
It's inspiring.
Okay, well, is it something more that you would like to say, or?
I will also email you. I would love to see the movies of all these directors, and that will be a great thing. Okay, we are in a lockdown, so I'm watching all the time tons of things. So I would love to see that. I want to thank you for this. Honestly, even the name of the festival is really inspiring, and the word new, I really like it, because I believe in this new Balkan whole experience. Keep up this great work. If I can be of any help to the festival or to other cinematographers, please feel free to pass my email on and my contact details. And I'm always here to assist or help in any way I can.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Yelena. Thank you so much. Have a lovely Saturday.
Yeah, the same.
Bye.
Bye. Okay.